2026 FIFA World Cup Final wasn't just about football. It was the night BTS made history. Now, their legendary, custom-made stage outfits are up for a fierce auction. Whispers say Jimin's jersey just fetched an absolutely mind-boggling price, shattering all expectations. But what makes these 7 spectacular pieces so incredibly valuable? Which outfit carries the deepest untold backstory? Did one member hide a secret detail that drove collectors insane? Let's uncover the wild truth. Number 7. RM, the leader's golden crest, hidden royalty. Stepping onto the global stage at the legendary 2026 FIFA World Cup Final, BTS did not merely deliver a performance, they orchestrated an unforgettable cultural earthquake that echoed across every corner of the globe. And sitting right at the absolute vanguard of that monumental spectacle was none other than the group's visionary leader, Kim Namjoon, known worldwide as RM. When Sotheby's officially unveiled the catalog for this historic charity auction, all eyes immediately locked onto lot number 7, featuring RM's customized tactical trench jersey, a breathtaking masterpiece of wearable art designed through an exclusive high-stakes collaboration between Louis Vuitton's creative director and traditional master artisans from Seoul. Imagine standing inside the electric, roaring atmosphere at MetLife Stadium, surrounded by over 80,000 screaming fans and over 1.5 billion people watching live across the planet, as RM walked out onto the emerald pitch wearing this imposing structure of high-fashion armor that effortlessly blended sleek modern athletic wear with ancient royal Korean heritage. The base of the outfit featured an upgraded aerodynamic FIFA World Cup jersey woven from high-tech sustainable microfiber in a deep oceanic obsidian hue, overlaid with a dramatic floor-sweeping crimson trench coat crafted from weather-resistant tech silk that caught the stadium wind like a majestic battle cape. What made this specific piece an instant holy grail for elite art collectors and sports memorabilia investors around the world was the insane level of intricate craftsmanship embedded within every single thread, starting with the shoulder panels that featured hand-embroidered golden dragons intertwined with subtle football line patterns, meticulously stitched over 300 agonizing hours by master weavers using actual 24-karat gold-coated thread. If you look closely at the interior lining of the trench coat, which was revealed during the high-definition auction close-up cameras, RM personally had his handwritten philosophy embossed into the silk fabric, reading, "Music and sport speak the exact same silent language of human passion," a poignant reminder of why this historical performance took place in the first place. During the high-intensity auction evening in London, where intense phone bids were flying in simultaneously from anonymous tech billionaires in Silicon Valley, royal family art curators from the Middle East, and prominent Asian pop culture museum archivists, the energy in the bidding room became overwhelmingly thick as the opening price for RM's attire jumped from a starting bid of $250,000 to an eye-watering $1,500,000 in less than 45 seconds flat. Critics and fashion historians initially speculated that because RM is known for his understated art house intellectual fashion taste, his outfit might take a back seat compared to the more flamboyant stage attire of his bandmates. But they could not have been more dead wrong, because the sheer historical weight of his role as the leader who guided BTS onto the World Cup main stage turned this garment into an irreplaceable artifact of 21st century global history. Bidders were frantically fighting over every inch of this garment, particularly after Sotheby's confirmed that the outfit was preserved in its exact post-performance condition, complete with authentic stage dust from the pitch, faint microscuffs from his high-energy choreographic drops, and even traces of his signature custom perfume lingering on the collar. As the hammer fell at a final breathtaking sum of $1,850,000, the entire auction house erupted into thunderous applause, marking a new world record for any K-pop leader's stage attire ever sold under the hammer. Yet this was only the 7th spot on our mind-blowing ranking. Think about the emotional weight carried within this single outfit. It represents years of breaking barriers, uniting sports fans with music lovers, and proving that 7 young men from South Korea could literally stand at the absolute center of the sports universe. But as we reflect on this astronomical sales figure for RM's Regal Commander Ensemble, it forces us to ask a truly captivating question. If the leader's iconic gold-embroidered suit fetched nearly $2 million right at the start of the night, how far up into the sky did the bidding skyrocket for the remaining members as the tension in the room built to a fever pitch? What incredible hidden features inside the next outfits pushed passionate collectors into an absolute bidding frenzy? And what secret personal artifacts were tucked inside their pockets before they stepped onto the World Cup grass? Number 6. J-Hope, the Electric Dynamo, Holographic Chrome Fire. When Jungkook, universally celebrated across the globe as J-Hope, exploded onto the pitch during the historic 2026 FIFA World Cup Final, the collective energy inside the sold-out venue surged to a point that felt almost supernatural, and the outfit he wore that night became an instantaneous piece of pop culture lore. Lot number 6 in this record-shattering charity auction brought forward J-Hope's Electrifying Performance Ensemble, a custom-engineered masterpiece designed through a high-octane collaboration between world-renowned streetwear pioneers, avant-garde tech textile laboratories, and top-tier French luxury houses. Visualizing J-Hope command the stage in front of over 85,000 roaring fans inside the stadium and an estimated 2 billion viewers watching live across continents, he wore a striking holographic chrome jersey that practically radiated liquid light under the blinding stadium floodlights, paired with futuristic metallic cargo trousers featuring integrated liquid metal sheen fabrics that shifted color from deep violet to electric turquoise with every sharp, dynamic movement of his world-class dance routines. What elevated this specific outfit from mere stage attire into an irreplaceable work of modern fine art was the astonishing craftsmanship woven into its core structure, starting with the back panel of the jersey where his iconic stage number was hand-embroidered using specialized reflective metallic threads infused with microscopic industrial diamond particles, causing the fabric to shimmer with an ethereal flare whenever camera flashes rippled across the crowd. Furthermore, the chest piece of the tactical jersey featured an intricate, custom-woven crest depicting a stylized dancing sun intertwined with classic football pitch patterns, meticulously stitched over 280 continuous hours by master artisans who utilized traditional Korean silk embroidering techniques dating back centuries. Accessories played a monumental role in making this lot a crown jewel for collectors, as the ensemble included J-Hope's custom matte black tactical fingerless leather gloves embedded with tiny platinum studs, a bespoke silver-plated microphone harness strap embossed with his signature catchphrase, and a pair of one-of-a-kind hand-painted high-top sneakers equipped with light-reactive chrome soles that showed subtle scuffs from his powerful footwork on the World Cup grass. Inside the high-stakes auction hall in Geneva, where world-renowned art curators, streetwear archivists, tech billionaires, and ultra-wealthy private investors gathered under tense crystal chandeliers, the lead auctioneer opened lot number 6 with a baseline starting bid of $300,000. But within a fraction of a second, the electronic bid board began flashing furiously as telephone bids poured in simultaneously from high-net-worth buyers in Tokyo, Seoul, Paris, London, and Los Angeles. Bidders were frantically fighting over every single fiber of this garment because Sotheby's officially certified that J-Hope's attire remained completely untouched and unaltered post-performance, meticulously preserving every raw, authentic detail from that unforgettable evening, including subtle microscuffs along the inner leg seams from his high-impact choreographic drops, slight friction wear near the waistline from his stage harness, and even faint, lingering trace aromas of his personal custom woody vanilla perfume near the reinforced high collar. Cultural analysts and fashion historians in attendance highlighted that J-Hope's choice of attire represented a profound, groundbreaking cultural bridge, seamlessly marrying underground street dance culture from his early formative years in Gwangju with the absolute zenith of global haute couture and mega sports entertainment, proving to the world that urban performance wear could command the exact same level of prestige and investment value as classic historical masterpieces. As the competitive bidding war escalated past the $2 million mark, the atmosphere inside the auction room turned overwhelmingly intense, marked by an edge-of-your-seat standoff between two major anonymous telephone contenders, one representing a prestigious private contemporary art museum in East Asia, and the other a prominent international sports memorabilia syndicate, engaging in a rapid, relentless volley of $50,000 raises that kept every spectator in the room holding their breath in stunned silence. When the auction hammer finally crashed down at an earth-shattering final sale price of $2,250,000, the entire hall erupted into thunderous applause, officially setting a monumental new world record for any piece of hip-hop or streetwear stage clothing ever sold at a public auction house. Looking closely at this dazzling masterpiece, one cannot help but feel the overwhelming tide of raw passion, tireless sacrifice, and boundless positivity that J-Hope poured into every single second of that global broadcast, leaving behind a tangible, immortalized physical artifact that captures the absolute golden era of 21st century global music and sports culture. Yet, as the applause settled after this staggering hammerfall, the room braced itself for the upcoming lots, sparking an incredible wave of intense curiosity among the attendees present and millions of passionate fans tracking the live stream worldwide. If J-Hope's holographic streetwear jersey broke records by clearing well over $2 million, what unbelievable design secret hidden inside the next member's outfit triggered an even wilder feeding frenzy among elite global buyers? Could the next piece hold an intimate personal secret, a hidden handwritten message, or a rare piece of customized jewelry tucked away inside its inner pocket that nobody on Earth saw coming until the auction catalog went live? Number 5. Jin, the silver swan of the stadium, velvet and diamonds, shattering expectations. When the blinding, multicolored spotlight pierced through the heavy electric night sky above MetLife Stadium during the historic 2026 FIFA World Cup Final, it immediately illuminated Kim Sek-jin, universally known as Jin and affectionately dubbed worldwide handsome by millions, standing like an ethereal, untouchable prince amidst the deafening, roaring chaos of over 85,000 screaming sports fans, and the outfit he wore in that exact, breathless, gravity-defying moment has now officially become one of the most fiercely coveted, highly debated fashion artifacts in modern auction history. As the prestigious Christie's auction catalog was finally unveiled to the rabidly anticipating public weeks before the event, lot number 5 sent an absolute seismic shockwave through the global community of haute couture collectors, high jewelry archivists, and music memorabilia investors, precisely because Jin's custom ensemble flawlessly executed an impossible aesthetic balance by merging the gritty, high-adrenaline bloke-core football athletic aesthetic with the pristine, untouchable elegance of traditional European luxury tailoring. Picture the breathtaking cinematic visual of Jin hitting those impossibly high, crystal-clear vocal notes that echoed across the global broadcast to over 2 billion viewers, all while wearing a masterfully deconstructed snow-white aerodynamic sports jersey crafted from cutting-edge, sweat-wicking sustainable microfiber, which was then elegantly layered underneath a dramatic, custom-tailored ivory velvet blazer heavily embroidered with microscopic platinum threads that shimmered like a mesmerizing constellation of stars under the aggressive stadium floodlights. His innate face card effect, the supernatural ability to make any piece of clothing look like a priceless museum exhibit, was on full, devastating display. But what truly sent the elite bidding room into an absolute uncontainable frenzy was the staggering, mind-numbing attention to detail woven into the bespoke accessories that completed the look. Specifically, the outfit featured a meticulously handcrafted crimson leather belt boasting intertwined metallic lettering that perfectly cinched his waist, paired seamlessly alongside a breathtaking custom-engineered chest harness, heavily encrusted with over 200 authentic, conflict-free Fred diamonds that cascaded brilliantly over his broad shoulders, catching every single flashbulb in the stadium and perfectly complementing his iconic custom pink crystal microphone. The jaw-dropping craftsmanship behind this singular, awe-inspiring outfit is nothing short of legendary, reportedly requiring an elite hand-picked team of Italian master tailors and traditional Korean silk weavers to endure over 350 hours of agonizing microscopic hand-stitching in absolute secrecy, ensuring that the delicate ivory velvet and heavy cascading diamonds could miraculously withstand the intense, explosive, high-impact choreography of a World Cup halftime show without restricting his athletic movement by even a fraction of a millimeter. When this majestic, sweat-kissed garment was finally rolled out onto the illuminated black velvet display stage inside the ultra-exclusive Christie's auction hall in New York City, the heavy, palpable, suffocating silence in the room was instantly shattered by a ruthless, high-speed bidding war that felt far more like a high-stakes psychological poker game between the world's most untouchable, fiercely competitive billionaires than a traditional charity auction. The impeccably dressed lead auctioneer confidently opened the floor at a staggering, intimidating base price of $500,000, but that preliminary number was utterly and hilariously obliterated within the first 12 seconds as a furious, chaotic barrage of telephone bids flooded in simultaneously from a prominent tech mogul in Tokyo, a notoriously secretive European royal family, and an elite consortium of private contemporary art curators based out of London. These ultra-wealthy bidders were driven to the absolute edge of madness not just by the sheer, undeniable physical beauty and material value of the outfit, but by the profoundly emotional, irreplaceable history embedded deeply within its fibers, as Christie's authentication experts meticulously verified that the ensemble retained every single raw, authentic mark from that historic night, refusing to wash or alter it in any way. This meant the suit still carried the faint, sparkling dust from the stadium's massive pyrotechnics resting delicately on the velvet lapels, the microscopic grass scuffs on his immaculate white leather boots from executing razor-sharp footwork directly on the pitch, and, most importantly, a deeply personal, hidden detail that made the entire auction room collectively gasp in pure awe when it was magnified and revealed on the giant high-definition screens flanking the stage. Tucked discreetly inside the left breast pocket, positioned purposefully and directly over Jin's heart, the master tailors had hand-stitched a tiny, secret, incredibly intricate motif of Wutio, his beloved animated astronaut character, woven in delicate silver and pink thread, alongside the poignant, handwritten phrase, "The moon will always find its orbit," serving as a tear-jerking permanent tribute to his unbreakable, enduring bond with his fans throughout his entire turbulent career journey, from his military enlistment era all the way back to this absolute pinnacle of global musical dominance. As the massive electronic bid board violently and relentlessly flashed past the $2 million mark, the tension in the crystal-adorned room became so suffocatingly thick you could physically cut it with a knife, with two fiercely stubborn anonymous buyers engaging in a brutal, rapid-fire volley of $100,000 raises that left seasoned, decades-old auction veterans completely speechless and sweating under their collars. When the legendary wooden gavel finally slammed down against the podium with a resounding, echoing crack, it secured an earth-shattering, jaw-dropping final sale price of $2,850,000, officially crowning Jin's ivory, velvet, and diamond masterpiece as the most expensive piece of performance tailoring ever sold in the illustrious history of the auction house, instantly sparking a roaring, deafening standing ovation that literally rattled the heavy crystal chandeliers hanging from the ornate ceiling. Yet even as the expensive champagne flutes were being rapidly passed around by waiters in tuxedos to celebrate this monumental, record-breaking transaction that would dominate global news headlines the next morning, a thrilling, almost terrifying wave of suspense washed over the exhausted attendees, because everyone in that room suddenly realized a terrifyingly exciting, undeniable truth. If the oldest member's breathtaking, diamond-studded, emotionally charged ensemble just commanded nearly $3 million and completely rewrote the rulebook of celebrity auctions, what absolute unpredictable insanity awaits us in the top four? What unprecedented mind-bending secret features, hidden personal artifacts, or revolutionary design elements could the remaining outfits possibly possess to drive the final hammer price even higher into the stratosphere? And which member's legendary, history-making stage armor is about to make this multi-million-dollar sale look like absolute pocket change as the night plunges deeper into madness?
Number 4. Suga, the shadow producer, dark leather and cyberpunk beats shattering all predictions. When the deafening war of over 85,000 football fanatics and music lovers rocked the concrete foundation of the stadium during the grand finale of the 2026 FIFA World Cup, the stadium floodlights dimmed down into a moody, pitch-black silence, only to be sliced open by a single icy blue spotlight revealing the enigmatic producer and rapper Min Yoongi, globally worshipped as Suga and August D. Positioned right in front of a massive, custom-built electronic audio mixing console set up directly on the sacred grass of the World Cup pitch, Suga didn't just perform, he took absolute, uncompromising control of the global heartbeat, radiating a quiet, razor-sharp authority that instantly hooked the undivided attention of over 2 billion viewers watching the live worldwide broadcast. Lot number 4 in this historic multi-million-dollar charity auction brought forward Suga's custom-engineered hybrid tactical stage ensemble, an absolute masterpiece of underground cyberpunk athletic aesthetic mixed with high-luxury streetwear, designed through an exclusive secret collaboration between avant-garde Japanese master designer Yohji Yamamoto and the iconic British fashion house of Alexander McQueen. Picture the unforgettable, spine-chilling image of Suga leaning heavy into his customized microphone as the thunderous sub-bass drop shook the entire sports arena, dressed in a sleek, midnight obsidian leather tactical jersey crafted from ultra-flexible, heat-reactive Italian calfskin that subtly shifted its hue from pitch black to a deep, bruised burgundy under the intense thermal warmth of his energetic body and the blazing stadium lights. The garment featured aggressive, asymmetrical cyberpunk utility straps crossing diagonally across his chest, hand-burnished matte silver industrial buckles, and a heavy, structured outer tactical vest reinforced with lightweight carbon fiber panels specifically designed to mirror the protective body armor worn by elite professional athletes. What sent veteran fashion archivists, hip-hop historians, and high-net-worth sports memorabilia collectors into an absolute uncontainable tailspin when the auction catalog went live was the microscopic craftsmanship embedded within the fabric itself, starting with the sculpted shoulder armor plates, which were hand-carved with traditional Korean daechwita dragon motifs, seamlessly blended with digital audio equalizer waveforms, meticulously etched over 400 exhausting hours by traditional metal artisans in Seoul using pure liquid oxidized silver. If you examine the high-definition macro photography provided by Sotheby's auction specialists, the back of the leather jersey displayed his iconic stage number styled in distressed white crackle paint, intentionally designed to weather, flake, and score during his intense, high-impact movement, giving the garment a raw, battle-tested, dystopian gladiatorial appearance that no other outfit in the entire collection could match. Accessories played a massive role in driving up the legendary status of lot number 4, as the complete auction set included his distressed black tactical cargo trousers, his custom-engraved sterling silver skull ring set, a pair of custom-molded matte black in-ear monitors embedded with actual meteoritic iron dust, and his heavily scuffed leather combat boots that still carried clear, untouched traces of green grass stains and rich soil directly from the World Cup pitch. When the lot was officially brought out onto the display stage under the blinding spotlights of the Grand Auction Hall, an intense, breathless hush settled over the room as the lead auctioneer confidently opened the bidding at a staggering starting price of $600,000. Within 3 seconds flat, the digital bid board erupted into a chaotic storm of flashing lights as telephone operators scrambled frantically to register bids flying in simultaneously from Silicon Valley tech founders, private hip-hop museum curators from Atlanta, elite European football club owners, and ultra-wealthy contemporary art investors based in Tokyo and Seoul. What drove these bidders into a total competitive frenzy was not merely the sheer physical rarity or the luxurious materials, but the unbelievable, authentic historical preservation guaranteed by the auction house, which certified that Suga's ensemble was preserved in its exact raw post-performance condition, complete with his physical sweat marks around the inner velvet collar, faint carbon residue from the stadium's smoke machines, and even a lingering trace of his signature dark amber and cedarwood fragrance inside the lining. But the absolute highlight that sent the entire bidding hall into a state of pure hysteria occurred when the lead auctioneer revealed a previously undisclosed secret hidden deep within the jacket's interior chest pocket, a crumpled, handwritten sheet of music staff paper containing Suga's original unreleased audio arrangement notes and beat breakdowns for the World Cup halftime show, scribbled in dark ink and signed personally at the bottom with his legendary August D signature, alongside the exact date of the final match. This unprecedented, deeply intimate personal artifact transformed the outfit from a legendary piece of stage clothing into an irreplaceable, priceless monument of 21st century music and sports history, sparking a brutal 10-minute bidding war where 2 anonymous phone bidders traded relentless $200,000 counterbids while the entire audience stood on their feet in breathless awe. As the price climbed into territory never before seen for any hip-hop or rap artist's performance wear, passing the $2 and $3 million milestones like they were mere stepping stones, the atmospheric tension inside the room became so thick that seasoned art advisors were seen nervously wiping sweat from their foreheads. Finally, with a sharp, heavy slam of the wooden hammer that echoed like a gunshot through the silent auditorium, Suga's cyberpunk leather ensemble was sold for a breathtaking, mind-boggling final price of $3,400,000, shattering all previous world records and proving that his influence as a music producer and global icon stands completely unmatched in modern culture. Yet as the thunderous crowd cheered and the auctioneer paused to take a drink of water before moving to the top 3 items of the night, a chilling wave of intense suspense washed over every single collector watching worldwide, raising a compelling, urgent question that left everyone on the edge of their seats. If Suga's dark, handwritten leather masterpiece effortlessly broke $3.4 million to capture 4th place, what impossible, mind-bending luxury details, ultra-rare gemstones, and emotional personal secrets are waiting inside the top 3 outfits that are about to push the remaining hammer prices into total multi-million-dollar uncharted territory.
Number 3. V's vintage avant-garde masterpiece, Emerald Silk and Royal Antiquity. When the atmospheric stadium lighting for the grand finale of the 2026 FIFA World Cup Final dramatically shifted from brilliant stadium floodlights into a moody, breathtaking shade of deep midnight emerald green, a unified, breathless gasp echoed through 85,000 fans packed into the stands and over 2 billion viewers watching the worldwide broadcast, because everyone instantly recognized that Kim Tae-young, universally known as V, was about to transform a global sports field into his own personal runway of transcendent high-fashion art. V did not simply walk out onto the sacred green grass, he floated into the center of the sports universe like a time-traveling 19th-century aristocrat, exuding an intoxicating, effortless charisma that immediately captivated every camera lens on the planet. Lot number 3 in this historic, record-shattering charity auction presented V's custom-designed avant-garde stage ensemble, a breathtaking, revolutionary synthesis of romantic Victorian couture, modern street luxury tailoring, and high-performance athletic apparel created through an exclusive, highly confidential collaboration between luxury fashion house Celine and master traditional Korean royal textile artisans. Visualize the stunning cinematic visual of V holding his customized gold microphone, his rich, velvet-smooth baritone voice echoing through the massive open-air venue, while wearing a deep forest emerald velvet athletic jersey seamlessly layered under a floor-sweeping tailor-made frock coat crafted from heavy silk jacquard that billowed majestically with every dramatic, deliberate step he took across the pitch. What sent top-tier fashion historians, museum archivists, and elite art investors into an absolute state of delirium when lot number 3 was officially unveiled in the auction catalog was the unprecedented level of microscopic craftsmanship embedded into every single square inch of the fabric, starting with the lapels and high-structured collar, which were hand-embroidered with classic Korean royal plum blossoms and stylized football pitch mesh patterns, using centuries-old Gungjung Jasu court embroidery techniques, taking over 450 painstaking hours by grandmaster artisans in Seoul who utilized authentic 19th-century silver gilt and raw gold threads. The base athletic jersey featured an ultra-lightweight aerodynamic mesh dyed in a custom emerald tone, lined with liquid shine metallic gold underlays that reflected the stadium pyrotechnics in a mesmerizing, hypnotic array of light, anchored by a custom-engineered leather harness studded with genuine micro-cut emeralds and uncut natural diamonds across the chest, balancing raw athletic intensity with royal luxury. The lot also featured his bespoke footwear, a pair of hand-patinaed vintage leather combat boots fitted with custom antique brass eyelets, which surprisingly still showed clear, untouched micro-traces of real green grass stains and soil particles embedded deeply within the rubber treads directly from the World Cup pitch. When this incredible ensemble was rolled out onto the main stage under the glittering crystal chandeliers of the prestigious auction hall in London, the energy in the room became suffocatingly tense, and the lead auctioneer confidently set the opening bid at a whopping $900,000. Within 5 seconds flat, the electronic bidding board erupted like a fireworks display as frantic telephone calls flooded in from royal fashion preservationists in Paris,
private contemporary art foundations in Seoul, tech billionaires from Silicon Valley, and high-net-worth sports memorabilia investors across the Middle East. The fierce bidding war escalated at a terrifying pace because Sotheby's official conservation team certified that the garment was kept in its exact raw post-performance state without any cleaning or alteration, preserving every single authentic detail from that historic night, including microscuffs along the sweeping silk hemline caused by the damp pitch turf, delicate traces of stadium smoke powder, and even the subtle, intoxicating notes of his signature custom oriental sandalwood and smoked vanilla fragrance lingering richly inside the inner silk lining. However, the absolute catalyst that pushed the competitive frenzy into pure, unadulterated madness occurred when the auction house revealed a previously undisclosed secret hidden in the jacket's interior left breast pocket, a handwritten parchment paper containing an original charcoal sketch drawn personally by V during his backstage waiting time, depicting the night sky over the World Cup stadium, paired with his handwritten signature and the moving, poetic phrase, "We bloomed together on this field," written in delicate calligraphy ink. This intimate, heart-wrenching piece of personal history instantly elevated the lot from an extraordinary piece of celebrity clothing into a priceless, irreplaceable artifact of global pop culture history, triggering a brutal 10-minute bidding standoff between an anonymous private museum curator in Tokyo and a high-profile European luxury fashion syndicate, with bids leaping in ruthless $200,000 increments, while the entire audience stood on their feet in stunned, breathless silence. As the electronic bid display smashed through $3 million, $3.5 million, and $4 million, seasoned auction veterans were left utterly dumbfounded, clutching their programs as the lead auctioneer struggled to maintain composure amidst the deafening room energy. Finally, with a sharp, echoing slam of the wooden gavel that sent shockwaves through the hall, V's emerald velvet and royal silk masterpiece was officially sold for an astounding, mind-boggling final price of $4,200,000. This monumental victory shattered every existing world record for modern stagewear, proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that V's unique aesthetic vision is a powerful, historic force in global culture. Yet, as the room erupted into thunderous applause and attendees cheered for this historic milestone, a chilling, electric wave of suspense settled over the entire venue, sparking an urgent, burning question that left everyone on the absolute edge of their seats. If V's mind-blowing royal emerald coat achieved over $4 million to take third place on our list, what insane, unheard-of details are waiting in the top two lots featuring Jungkook and Jimin, and how on earth did Jimin's iconic World Cup jersey manage to crush all global expectations to secure the ultimate, astronomical highest price of the night?
Number 2. Jungkook, the Golden Gladiator, crimson leather and pure adrenaline. When the heart-pounding, ground-shaking bass line of the historic 2026 FIFA World Cup Final halftime show finally dropped, sending a massive, synchronized wave of blazing crimson pyrotechnics erupting across the stormy night sky above MetLife Stadium, the youngest member of BTS, Jungkook, universally celebrated and feared by the global music industry as the unstoppable Golden Machine, literally shattered the earth with his fiercely explosive, gravity-defying stage presence. As he commanded the absolute center of the soccer pitch, backed by the roaring, deafening screams of over 85,000 live spectators and the undivided attention of over 2 billion viewers watching the worldwide broadcast, Jungkook radiated an intense, feral energy that perfectly encapsulated the raw, blood-pumping adrenaline of competitive sports.
When the prestigious Sotheby's charity auction catalog was unveiled to the rapidly anticipating public, lot number 2 sent an absolute seismic shockwave through the global community of elite fashion archivists, high-stakes sports memorabilia investors, and pop culture historians, because it featured Jungkook's custom-engineered performance jacket, a breathtaking, revolutionary synthesis of hyper-athletic motorcycle gear and apocalyptic street luxury couture. This wasn't just a piece of clothing, it was a wearable monument to extreme human performance, designed through an incredibly secretive multi-million-dollar collaboration between Prada's experimental tactical division and top-tier extreme sports aerospace engineers in Milan. Envision the awe-inspiring cinematic visual of Jungkook executing razor-sharp, breakneck choreography on the grass, wearing a heavy, structured motorcycle jacket crafted from ultra-rare blood crimson and midnight black ballistic calfskin leather, heavily reinforced with flexible titanium-infused mesh paneling along the spine to support his intense physical movement without sacrificing an ounce of high-fashion aesthetics. The agonizing, microscopic attention to detail woven into this formidable garment is nothing short of legendary, featuring aggressive, hand-studded, oxidized silver spikes across the shoulders and cutting-edge racing stripes running down both sleeves that were covertly embedded with microscopic smart LED fibers, which actually synchronized wirelessly with the stadium's audio system to pulse in a subtle, glowing rhythm mimicking his exact heartbeat during the live broadcast. What drove the ultra-wealthy bidding room into an absolute state of competitive delirium when this magnificent piece was finally rolled out onto the illuminated crystal display stage in New York City was the astonishing, unprecedented level of raw historical authenticity preserved by the auction house's elite conservation team. They strictly certified that Jungkook's jacket remained completely untouched, unwashed, and unpolished since the exact moment he walked off the pitch, meaning the heavy leather still bore the unmistakable gritty battle scars of that historic performance, harsh, aggressive scuff marks on the elbows from executing his jaw-dropping high-impact floor routines, faint gray scorch marks along the lower hem from standing inches away from the massive stage flamethrowers, and the deeply embedded, intoxicating scent of his signature heavy musk and black pepper cologne baked directly into the inner tactical lining. When the impeccably dressed lead auctioneer confidently stepped up to the podium and opened the bidding floor at an intimidating, heart-stopping baseline of $1,200,000, the heavy, palpable silence in the room was instantly and violently shattered by a ruthless, high-speed barrage of telephone bids that flooded the digital board. The atmosphere inside the room morphed into a high-stakes psychological war zone as a prominent European sports car manufacturing magnate, an aggressively competitive anonymous A-list Hollywood action star based in Los Angeles, and a notoriously secretive ultra-wealthy private art syndicate from Dubai locked horns in a relentless, rapid-fire volley of $200,000 raises that left seasoned auction veterans sweating profusely under their collars. However, the absolute, undeniable catalyst that pushed this bidding war past the absolute brink of human sanity occurred when the auction house proudly revealed a previously classified, deeply emotional secret hidden deep within the jacket's architecture. Concealed inside a discreet, heavy-duty zipper pocket positioned precisely over his lower rib cage, the master tailors had permanently stitched in a heavy, heavily tarnished silver military dog tag that Jungkook famously wore during the grueling, uncertain early days of BTS's debut era, meticulously engraved with his lifelong personal motto, "I would rather die than live without passion." This raw, deeply intimate piece of his personal origin story
physically embedded into the armor he wore at the absolute zenith of his global supremacy, completely transformed the jacket from a mere celebrity artifact into a priceless, mythical relic of modern human triumph. As the massive electronic bid board violently smashed through the $4 million and $5 million milestones, the suffocating tension inside the crystal-adorned room became so thick that the crowd was collectively holding its breath in stunned, paralyzed silence. Finally, with a sharp, heavy slam of the legendary wooden gavel that echoed like a thunderclap through the silent auditorium, Jungkook's crimson leather gladiator jacket was officially sold for an earth-shattering, mind-boggling final price of $5,500,000. This monumental, history-making transaction completely obliterated every existing record for athletic performance couture, triggering a roaring, deafening standing ovation that literally rattled the heavy glass chandeliers hanging from the ornate ceiling. Yet even as the expensive champagne flutes were rapidly passed around to celebrate this astronomical, jaw-dropping victory that would undoubtedly dominate global news headlines the very next morning, a thrilling, almost terrifying wave of suspense washed over the exhausted attendees, because everyone in that room suddenly realized a terrifyingly exciting, undeniable truth. If the Golden Matiné's breathtaking, adrenaline-fueled, emotionally charged masterpiece just commanded a staggering $5.5 million, how on earth did Jimin's World Cup jersey manage to crush all global expectations, defy all logic, and secure the absolute, uncontested highest price of the entire night? What impossible, mythical secret, revolutionary design element, or unimaginable emotional weight is hidden inside our final, highly anticipated #1 spot that is about to rewrite the entire history of modern pop culture auctions forever? Number 1. Jimin. The ethereal seraph of the pitch, spun silver and tears, breaking the world. When the absolute climax of the historic 2026 FIFA World Cup Final halftime show finally arrived, the aggressive, stadium-shaking pyrotechnics suddenly vanished, leaving behind a profound, breathtaking silence that washed over the 85,000 live spectators at MetLife Stadium and the 2 billion people watching around the globe. And in that solitary, heart-stopping moment of pure cinematic suspense, a single piercing beam of pure white moonlight-esque stadium lighting illuminated Park Jimin, universally revered as the ethereal seraph of global pop music, and the magnificent otherworldly garment he wore on his back that night was destined to completely obliterate every single auction record in human history. Lot number 1, the absolute crown jewel, the undisputed holy grail of this multi-million-dollar charity event, featured Jimin's custom-engineered, breathtakingly fluid stage jersey, an unfathomable masterpiece of textile engineering designed through a highly classified, emotionally charged collaboration between the legendary couture house of Christian Dior and South Korea's most elite, fiercely guarded traditional hanbok grandmasters. Imagine the sheer, gravity-defying visual of Jimin executing a flawless, heart-wrenching contemporary dance leap across the emerald green pitch, completely defying the rugged, aggressively masculine atmosphere of a football championship, draped in a mesmerizing, ultra-lightweight athletic jersey, overlaid with cascading layers of translucent, midnight blue silk gauze that flowed around his body like living water with every microscopic movement. The agonizing, almost terrifying level of microscopic craftsmanship poured into this singular garment left elite fashion archivists and museum curators completely speechless when the auction catalog was published, because the cascading silk layers were literally hand-embroidered with thousands of microscopic actual crushed sapphires and pulverized pure silver threads, meticulously designed to catch the stadium floodlights and create a supernatural bioluminescent halo effect around his body as he moved, requiring an incomprehensible 600 hours of continuous, agonizing hand-stitching by master artisans working under high magnification lenses. But the sheer physical beauty of the outfit was merely the surface. What truly drove the ultra-wealthy, fiercely competitive bidding room in Geneva into a state of absolute uncontainable hysteria was the incredible, historically flawless preservation of the garment, because the elite authentication team at Sotheby's aggressively refused to alter, wash, or treat the fabric, officially certifying that it remained frozen in the exact visceral state it was in when Jimin walked off that monumental stage. This meant that the delicate silk hem still bore the dark, gritty moisture of the damp grass from his breathtaking floor work. The collar carried the distinct, raw physical evidence of his exhaustion through faint, authentic sweat markers, and the fabric itself permanently held the deeply intoxicating, lingering notes of his custom signature powdery floral and white musk perfume, creating a hauntingly intimate, sensory time capsule of the most important performance of his entire life. When the legendary, impeccably dressed lead auctioneer finally stepped up to the podium to present this ultimate masterpiece, a heavy, suffocating, almost religious silence fell over the crystal-adorned auditorium before he cautiously opened the bidding floor at a terrifying, record-breaking baseline of $2,500,000, a number that was hilariously and violently pulverized within a fraction of a second. The digital bid board completely short-circuited into a flashing frenzy of chaotic red numbers as a ruthless, highly aggressive bloodbath of telephone bids poured in simultaneously from a notoriously reclusive European tech billionaire, an ultra-wealthy Asian royal syndicate, and a highly prestigious international contemporary art museum fighting desperately to secure the artifact for their permanent cultural exhibition. The tension in the room rapidly escalated from a professional auction into a high-stakes psychological war of attrition, with bids violently leapfrogging in massive $500,000 increments, leaving seasoned, decades-old auction veterans physically trembling and frantically wiping sweat from their brows as the price effortlessly shattered the $6 million and $7 million barriers like they were made of absolute glass. However, the true, deeply emotional catalyst that ultimately pushed this historic bidding war past the absolute brink of human sanity, effectively turning the auction hall into a tear-filled, highly emotional arena, occurred when the massive high-definition screens flanking the stage finally revealed the ultimate mythical secret that Jimin had hidden deep within the architecture of the jersey, a secret that absolutely nobody on Earth knew about until this very night. Carefully and invisibly stitched into the interior lining, placed deliberately and permanently directly over his beating heart, the Grandmaster tailors had woven a small, heavily faded, remarkably fragile square of black cotton fabric, which the auction house officially authenticated as a piece cut directly from the very first, incredibly cheap practice t-shirt Jimin ever wore in the freezing, cramped basement dance studio during his painfully uncertain debut days back in 2013, accompanied by his personal handwriting intricately embroidered in silver thread reading, "From the cold floor to the roof of the world, my youth belongs entirely to you." This devastatingly beautiful, raw, and intensely vulnerable piece of his personal soul completely shattered the hearts of every single person in the room, transforming the jersey from an astonishing piece of celebrity couture into a priceless, mythical, and deeply sacred relic of human perseverance, boundless love, and artistic immortality. pushing the remaining two anonymous bidders into an absolute frenzy of limitless spending. The entire auditorium held its breath, completely paralyzed by the sheer historic weight of the moment, as the massive electronic board flashed one final, unfathomable number, and with a sharp, echoing, earth-shattering slam of the wooden gavel that will permanently ring through the halls of pop culture history, Jimin's sapphire-encrusted, emotionally devastating masterpiece was officially sold for an apocalyptic, mind-bending final price of $8,900,000. The audience instantly erupted into absolute deafening chaos, with billionaires, curators, and seasoned auctioneers leaping to their feet, openly sobbing and cheering in a massive, roaring standing ovation that literally shook the foundation of the building, officially crowning Park Jimin's 2026 World Cup jersey as the single most expensive, fiercely coveted, and historically significant piece of performance fashion ever sold in the entire history of mankind.